On a 40-degree Monday morning, we welcome you to Johnson City, Tennessee for Day 2 of the Big Region Preseason Preview Invitational hosted by King University. I'm Matt Scalzo on the Eagle Sports Network. Day 2 for Carson-Newman, looking to go perfect once again. They picked up 2 wins yesterday to open up the 2026 season, a pair of one-run wins, including a 2-1 win over Glenville State and then a 6-5 win over Concord. And those 2 wins gave head coach Michael Graves his 200th career win at Carson-Newman. So congratulations to Coach Graves. He's looking for a bit more of an offensive output today. He was impressed with the pitching that he got yesterday, and he's excited for what Day 2 could hold. They'll be taking on a Davis and Elkins squad out of the Mountain East to open up this Day 2 in the morning, and it'll be Tiana Stamper that gets the ball in the circle for Carson-Newman. She got the start against Concord yesterday evening, and man, did she impress. 5 innings, just allowing 1 hit, 1 run allowed, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. She has a 3-pitch mix, actually a 4-pitch mix of a screwball, curveball, changeup, and the rise ball. And this is the order from Davis and Elkins that she will be facing. Alyssa Haynes leads off playing in left field. Gwenny Westling is the catcher batting second. Ashlyn Zapak is the first baseman batting third. Courtney Dobbs is the shortstop batting fourth. Trinity Fleming is the designated player batting fifth. Meg Henkel, the third baseman, bats sixth. Batting seventh is Madison Smith, the right fielder. Maybe Ledesma is the second baseman batting eighth, and April Belcher is the center fielder batting ninth. For Carson-Newman, they're coming out in their light blue uniforms with the blue shoulders, or the navy blue shoulders, white eagles written across the front with a blue outline, and a blue number with a white outline, and the navy blue pants with white socks. As for Davis and Elkins, in a black uniform with Senators written across the front in white with a red outline. Same goes for the numbers on the black uniform with red pants. It is a sunny morning. The sun is making its first appearance here in Johnson City over the last 2 days. It was a frigid day yesterday in the high 20s, low 30s. Right now it has the temperature just a little bit higher. It's in the 40s at 41 currently. But it's expected to get up into the mid to high 50s in the afternoon. As here we go for Game 3, Day 2 from Johnson City. Stamper, the righty, settles in the circle. Haynes digs into the lefty's batter's box. And a little bit of an early start. 9:55 local time, and we are underway from Johnson City. It is a first pitch strike on the outer half from Stamper. Davis and Elkins 0-4 to start their season, as the 0-1 buzzes the tower of Haynes in the lefty's batter's box, and she ducks out of the way. 1-1. For Carson-Newman, strong defensive day yesterday. The 1-1. Haynes pops it up left side of the infield. Grace Gregory moves over towards the circle and makes the grab for out number 1. We'll now take a look at the Carson-Newman defensive alignment. Out in center field is the sack player to watch in Abby Martin. She is flanked in right by Shelby Armstrong and in left by Addie Saunders. Macaulay Bailey's at first. Reese Winchester at second base. Malia Smith is the shortstop. And Grace Gregory, who just made the play, is the third baseman. Anne-Marie Richards is behind the plate, completing the battery with Stamper, as the first pitch from Stamper to Westling misses down and inside. Stamper got off to such a hot start yesterday. All struck out 6 batters across the first 2 innings. She did face 7 as there was a drop third pass ball. As the 1-0 from Westling, another pop-up on the infield. On the left side, it goes Malia Smith and just creeps onto the outfield turf for out number 2. So a quick start for Atiana Stamper. Just 5 pitches thrown and 2 quick outs for Carson-Newman. And the top of the first inning against Davis and Elkins. These 2 teams faced off last year, just for the second time all time, as the first pitch popped up third base side. Gregory races over but runs out of room on the first offering to Ashlyn Zapak. And so the count moves to 0-1. Davis and Elkins, as I said, 0-4. They have lost to Lincoln Memorial and Mars Hill this week at the Big Region season preview as the 0-1 from Stamper brushes inside on Zapak, and it's 1-1. Lost 15-7 to the Rail Splitters yesterday morning, and then yesterday afternoon, and then a 13-4 loss to Mars Hill to close out day one. The 1-1 swung on and missed by Zapak, and it is 1-2. Stamper, someone that head coach Michael Graves and pitching coach Holly Tucker Vance are really impressed with. She generates a ton of spin on her pitches. Here comes the 1-2. Moves inside, but it's just a touch inside from Stamper, and the count evens at 2-2. When talking with Coach Holly, she talked about the screwball that moves into the righties. We'll see if she goes back to it here on the 2-2 offering. Here's the pitch home. Pulled on the ground. Batted down by Gregory at third, and she doesn't have a throw over to first, and it'll be an infield single for Zapak. And a 2-out base hit brings up the 4-hitter Courtney Dobbs and the shortstop for the Senators. Dobbs, across 4 games to start this season, is batting .455, 5 for 11 at the dish, and has a team leading, or tied for a team lead, 5 RBIs as the first pitch. Swing and a miss from Dobbs. Stamper gets ahead. As a team, Davis and Elkins so far through 4 games, .292 in terms of batting average. Lost a pair of games to UNC Pembroke last weekend, both by the score of 12-4. This one is sky-high fly ball out into center field. Martin charges in and makes the grab for out number 3. So after 2-out base hit, Stamper gets the fly out and puts up a 0 in the top of the first inning. We'll get our first look at the Carson-Newman Bats when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Welcome back to Johnson City, Tennessee. It is the bottom of the first inning. See, the stats aren't updating on YouTube. I will check on that for you all. There they go. I apologize if it wasn't updating in the top of the first inning. Hopefully I did a good job describing and giving you all the action so it didn't feel like you missed anything. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Malia Smith leads off as the first look at the Carson-Newman Bats on day 2. They will be facing Sailor Neeland in the circle for Davis and Elkins. The righty settles in the circle, facing the lefty and Smith. And the first offering is a strike right down the chute to Malia Smith, who went 3 for 6 with a run scored and an RBI yesterday, picking up her first career hit and her first career at bat, and then had the game-winning RBI in the 2-1 win over Glenville State. Here's the 0-1, chopped on the ground towards second, fielded by Ledesma, and she'll toss on to first for out number 1. And we'll take a look at the rest of this Davis and Elkins defensive alignment. Out in center field is April Belcher, with Madison Smith joining her in right and Alyssa Haynes in left. Ashlyn Zapak is the first baseman. Maybe Ledesma is the second baseman who just made the play. Courtney Dobbs is at shortstop, and Meg Henkel is at third base. First pitch to Reese Winchester. Runs inside and hits the freshman second baseman, and she'll go down on a hit-by-pitch. And then the catcher is Gwenny Wessling for Neyland in the circle. And so here comes Macaulay Bailey now into the righty's batter's box with Winchester over at first base after the hit-by-pitch. First offering to Bailey. Notches the outside edge to the right-handed hitting senior. Bailey, the all-time leader in Carson-Newman history in career home runs and RBIs. Went 2 for 7 yesterday with a run scored. Big cut and a miss on the 0-1 offering. And it's quickly 0-2. Although she did continue her 20, extending her on-base streak to 22 consecutive games and her hitting streak to 7 games dating back to last season with a hit in each game as the 0-2 clips straight back and the count stays where it is. Didn't get a chance to talk about Reese Winchester and her short-lived at-bat being hit on the first pitch from Neyland. Winchester was 3 of 5 with a pair of RBIs and a pair of walks. Top of this order with the 2 freshmen is something that head coach Michael Graves really likes. The 0-2 is outside to Bailey, and the count moves to 1-2. He says they're not your prototypical freshmen. They are just so good at what they do defensively, but they also bring a calmness and the ability to get on base in the top of the order. Sets the table for a hitter like Bailey. The 1-2, Bailey floats it out center field. On comes Belcher for the grab, and there's 2 away as Winchester stays put at second base. At first base. And so here comes Grace Gregory, a transfer from North Alabama. Went 1 for 7 yesterday. Her lone hit, a triple with 2 runs coming in to score against Concord. First pitch is inside from Neyland. Gregory missed a lot of time over the last couple seasons at North Alabama with a knee injury. And getting back to full strength and looking to close out her career on a high note with the Eagles. Fouls off the 1-0 down the first base side, and it's 1-1. No shift on in the infield or the outfield against the right-handed hitting Gregory as the sun continues to shine through, breaking up the clouds. The 1-1, an off-speed that dips down and away and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gregory, a native of White House, Tennessee, 2-1, fouls it away, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Winchester over at first. The pitch home from Neyland jams inside. Gregory fights it off with a foul ball and keeps things moving along in the bottom of the first. No score between Carson-Newman and Davis and Elkins. In Game 3 of the Big Region preseason preview, Game 1 of Day 2, Carson-Newman will tangle with the Converse Valkyries at approximately noon for their 4th and final game from this week. Gregory on the 2-2, hit towards second. Diving stop made, and the flip is in time from Ledesma to second base to get Winchester. And it's a beautiful play by the shortstop Ledesma. Full extension ranging to her right, and makes the play for out number 3. And that'll send us to the second inning. Still scoreless between Carson-Newman and Davis and Elkins on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal?
then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Welcome back on the Eagles Sports Network. Top of the second inning from Johnson City at the James K. Ellis Softball Complex at Wing Deer Park. Still scoreless through one inning between Carson-Newman and Davison Elkins on the Eagle Sports Network. Matt Scalzo with you. Atiana Stamper settles back into the circle and faces Trinity Fleming to begin the top of the second inning and delivers a first pitch strike that burns the outside edge. Stamper just throwing 12 pitches in that opening frame. Gave up a 2-out base hit and then continued on her path, and she's just done a tremendous job. Just the second hit that she's given up this weekend is the 0-1 is a touch inside, and the count evens up at 1-1. Stamper had 6 strikeouts through the first 2 innings yesterday against Concord. This time she's been letting her defense make the plays. The 1-1 looped into the air and fouled down the first base side. 1-2. And the defensive ability has been impressive, at least for head coach Michael Graves across the first 2 days. No errors for the Eagles. The 1-2, and Fleming fouls it off. Count stays where it is. And this is a Eagles team that was really headlined by first-year players making their debuts in Stamper, Winchester, and Smith leading the way. The 1-2, fly ball, center field. Martin moves over to her right into the left center field gap and makes the play for out number 1. And so here comes Meg Henkel. Henkel, a sophomore out of Rockford, Ohio. First pitch is swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Head coach Michael Graves joked on the bus yesterday that with a win today, or at least a win over Davis and Elkins, they can crown themselves the early season champions of the Mountain East, as both Glenville State and Concord from the Mountain East, as is Davis and Elkins. Glenville State won the Mountain East a year ago, going 36-17 overall. Here comes the 1-1. Henkel waves through on the rise ball, and the count moves to 1-2. In the top of the second inning, scoreless between Carson-Newman and Davis and Elkins. The 1-2 home. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Henkel, and it's the first strikeout of the morning for Atiana Stamper. Going upstairs on the rise ball, and now up to 10 strikeouts on the season after her 9 punch-outs yesterday. Looking for a 1-2-3 frame. She'll face the 7-hitter in Madison Smith, the right fielder, standing in the righty's batter's box. First pitch is a touch inside. 0-1, or 1-0, excuse me. I misspoke there. For Smith on the season, through the first 4 games, she started all of them. She is 1 for 9, so a slow start for the sophomore out of California. Ahead 2-0 as the last pitch was off the mark from Stamper. Here's the 2-0, and that catches the inside corner. 2-1. No shift on for Carson-Newman. A lot of ground to cover in the gaps for Abby Martin out in center, but so much trust in the senior as the 2-1 clips straight back on a sky-high pop-up that hits on the balcony in front of the press box here at the James K. Ellis Softball Complex. And the count evens at 2-2 with 2 away in the top of the second. Stamper settles in, rocks and deals the break even. And Smith lays off the high and outside rise ball. Works the count full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Check swing. She holds back as Smith takes outside for ball 4 and is aboard with a 2-out walk. And here comes maybe Ledesma, who has made a pair of strong plays defensively as the second baseman, including a nice diving stop to bring the bottom of the first inning to a close on a hard-hit ground ball from Grace Gregory. Ledesma, making her second start of the season, is 0 for 2 on the year. She takes the first pitch ball that is high from Stamper. Got her first start yesterday against Mars Hill. Standing in the righty's batter's box, the 1-0. Outside for ball 2. Ledesma, a sophomore from Anaheim, California. Making the cross-country journey to Davis and Elkins. 2-0 is a strike, and then a snap throw down to first by Anne-Marie Richards. See Smith dive back in ahead of the tag safely, and the count is at 2-1. With 2 away, that was the 30th pitch for Stamper so far this morning. 2-1 inside, ball 3, and it's 3-1. There's been a runner left on, or a runner that's gotten on, and the first 3 half innings to begin this contest. They haven't been able to make it to second, any of them, as a 3-1 comes in, and that is high and outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Stamper, and now Smith is the first base runner to move into scoring position on this Monday morning. Sets the table for the 9-hitter in April Belcher, the center fielder. Belcher has started 3 games. She's 2 for 5 so far. First pitch is in there for a called strike right down the chute from Stamper. And yesterday, where both appearances for Belcher went 1 for 2 against the Rail Splitters of Lincoln Memorial, and then 1 for 3 against Mars Hill. The 0-1, wave and a miss, and it's quickly 0-2. As Stamper looks to shut the door in a threatening position for the Senators. And the 0-2 comes home, and Belcher just catches a piece of it, clipping it into the fence behind home plate. Stamper looks at her wristband on her left wrist, comes home with the 0-2, dips down and away to the right-handed hitting Belcher. Count now moves to 1-2. Carson-Newman has struck first in both of the first 2 contests to start the season, trying to make sure that stays the same as the 1-2 from Stamper comes in, and it's a swing and a miss from Belcher on the rise ball. Second strikeout for Stamper, and she leaves 2 runners on in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom half where Anne-Marie Richards, Katie Mathena, and Addie Saunders are due up for the Eagles on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for
As
home
we return-
upgrades. Plus,
as
AEC
we come
carefully
back on
inspects
Eagle
every
Sports
job
Network
to ensure the
for
highest quality.
Day 2 from the Big Region season preview. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Scoreless through an inning and a half between Carson-Newman and Davis and Elkins. Anne-Marie Richards leads off and takes the first pitch strike on the outer half from Sailor Neeland. Richards, one of the freshman starters for Carson-Newman and head coach Michael Graves, expected to be the primary catcher this season. Started both games yesterday as the 0-1 misses inside, and it's 1-1 to Richards, who is a native of Spring Hill, Tennessee. Had a good day behind the plate yesterday, but struggled a little bit hitting. Went 1 for 6, got her first career hit against Concord in the second contest yesterday, the 1-1 high and outside, and it's 2-1. But there's good power in the bat of the freshman. When talking with Lorelei Spradlin ahead of the season, as 2-1 from Richards, lifted in the air, right center field, and it'll be the right fielder Smith to call off Belcher and make the grab for out number 1. But when I was talking with Lorelei Spradlin in the build-up to this season, talked about the calm, cool collectiveness that Richards provides behind the dish. And so now here comes Katie Mathena, the designated player for Carson-Newman in this first contest. Got the start in Game 2 against Concord and delivered. Went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a double. Fouls the first pitch off from Neeland, and here comes the 0-1 from Neeland. And it finds the inside corner on a breaking pitch. 0-2. Mathena last year was just 1 for 5, primarily used as a pinch runner in her freshman season and in her sophomore year. Back-to-back starts. Head coach Michael Graves was really impressed with how she hit the ball. The 0-2 runs upstairs. 1-2. As the sophomore from Blacksburg, Virginia, has now reached base in 3 consecutive games dating back to last season. 1-2, outside 2-2. Made her first career start yesterday as well, doubling up her season total from a year ago in terms of hits. Here comes the 2-2. Just misses inside from Neeland. And Mathena has worked backwards, trailed 0-2. Now works the count full. 3-2 with 1 away in the bottom of the second. Scoreless between Carson-Newman and Davis and Elkins. The 3-2 upstairs, just above the top rail of the zone, and Mathena works a one-out walk and continues to show her patience and improved eyes in the batter's box as she comes into her sophomore season. And so here is Addie Saunders, another sophomore for this Carson-Newman team, and moving into the lefty's batter's box. She had an impressive day yesterday as well. First pitch from Neeland right down the gut, and it's 0-1. For Saunders, she went 2 for 3 across the 2 games, a run scored and a pair of walks. For the sophomore out of Radford, Virginia, the 0-1. Saunders, slow roller, third base side, eats up the third baseman, and Henkel to throw on a first is not in time. And so now there's 2 runners on as Saunders reaches on the error by the third baseman in Henkel. And Mathena will advance over to second. Brings up Shelby Armstrong. Another strong defensive player for Carson-Newman. Played in both corners. First pitch to Armstrong. Runs inside and catches her on the down around her knee or shin area on her lead left leg, which will load the bases for Carson-Newman. And the 9-hitter and Abby Martin. Getting a spam phone call currently. At least I hope so. As here comes Abby Martin, the 9-hitter, coming up, and Martin, a senior from Gadsden, Alabama, has a chance to break things open here with 1 away in the bottom of the second. First pitch from Neeland is outside, and it's 1-0. Martin, so strong defensively, also got things going with her bat. Had 2 RBIs yesterday, both against Concord, as the 1-0 is hit straight back into the fence behind home plate. Count evens at 1-1. Went 3 for 5 yesterday. As I said, the 2 RBIs. Also had a pair of stolen bases. Was named a SAC player to watch ahead of this season. And Coach Michael Graves said she's someone that kind of flies under the radar. Her ability to get on base, her speed, her defense. And then did a little bit of talking with her bat yesterday. As an opportunity to bring the first run across for Carson-Newman in this contest. The 1-1 was high and outside. It's 2-1. Here's the next offering from Neeland. And it's right in the heart of the zone. 2-2. Here's the break even from Neeland, and Martin shoots it foul, first base side. Was able to catch up with Abby Martin ahead of this season as on one of the position previews for this season. Feels really confident coming into this year. The 2-2. Martin, high chopper, second base. Desma Fields fires to first and gets Martin. But coming in to score comes Mathena. And Carson-Newman brings the first run across on the 4-3 put out to Martin. All the runners advance, and it's the 3rd RBI for Abby Martin of this season. And now it's back to the top of the order with Malia Smith. Still has Armstrong at second and Saunders at third. First pitch, Smith swinging, chopper to the shortstop, fire on to first, and it is in time. A nice stretch from Zapak on the throw from Dobbs. Retires Smith. And Carson-Newman will leave a pair of runners on in the bottom of the second, but a run scores on the RBI ground out from Abby Martin, and it's 1-0 Carson-Newman as we head into the 3rd inning on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Welcome back to Johnson City. Carson-Newman strikes first with an RBI ground out from Abby Martin, and it's 1-0 Carson-Newman as we come into the third inning. Taking on Davis and Elkins. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Day 2 from the Big Region Preseason Preview Invitational hosted by King University, and I want to give a big thanks to their entire athletic communication staff and coaching staff that has done such a good job at putting this invitational together. Stamper's first offering to Alyssa Haynes, the leadoff hitter, is a ball, and then on the 1-0, floats it into left center field, and it is down for a leadoff base hit from Alyssa Haynes. It's back to the top of the order for Davis and Elkins, at least to begin this inning, with Haynes, and she can be a real fire starter. The fourth hit of the season for her. Has 4 runs scored on the year as well, possessing good speed over at first base as Gwenny Westling, the catcher, steps in. First pitch misses down in the zone down below the zone from Stamper, and it's 1-0. Corners pinching in for Carson-Newman as the 1-0 from Westling lifts it in the air. Deep fly ball out to center. Martin moves back and will make the grab a few steps in front of the temporary wall that has been put up on all 4 fields. And there's one away in the top of the third inning. Haynes stays put over at first. And now Ashlyn Zapak comes up to bat. And the top of the first inning, first pitch from Stamper, a wave and a miss, and it's 0-1. A couple of ground rule doubles for Carson-Newman yesterday with the temporary wall. There's not a lot of integrity to it, and balls can sneak underneath it and kind of pop right over the top, as there's a quick little visit at the circle between Anne-Marie Richards and Atiana Stamper. The 0-1 home is right on the outside edge, 0-2 on a good off-speed from Stamper. Here comes the 0-2, and Zapak just catches a piece of it, fights it off with a foul ball straight back into the fencing behind home plate. Here's the 0-2. Misses inside. A runner going. The throw down from Richards is not in time, and Haynes is able to swipe second ahead of the tag. So the count moves to 1-2 with one away. Stamper comes home, and this is pulled foul down the line from Zapak. We'll do it all over again on a 1-2 offering with one away. And the tying run now in scoring position for Davis and Elkins, represented by Alyssa Haynes. Stamper looks at her wristband on her left wrist, comes set, rocks and deals a 1-2, and it's another foul ball from Zapak. Keeps this at-bat going. In the top of the third inning, a 1-0 Carson-Newman lead on an RBI ground out from Abby Martin. And the 2-2 home, down and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes as indicated by the home plate umpire. Here comes the 3-2. This is lifted in the air, left field. Saunders moves over into the gap and makes the grab for out number 2. Haynes stays put over at second base, and there's 2 away. And the top of the 3rd, up comes Courtney Dobbs. Davis and Elkins 0 for 2 so far with runners in scoring position. First pitch swinging from Dobbs, pulls it down the third base line, and it will drift foul for out number 1. Dobbs so far this season, as I said, came into today 5 for 11. Was retired on a flyout to center fielder first time up. As the 0-1 misses just beneath the bottom part of the zone from Stamper, and it's 1-1. Dealing with Haynes over at second base. The 1-1. High and outside from Stamper. 2 balls and 1 strike to Courtney Dobbs. An impressive freshman in Atiana Stamper trying to leave another runner in scoring position stranded. The 2-1, a wave and a miss from Dobbs, or rather she caught a piece of it. And the count equals at 2-2 with 2 away. Runner on second in Haynes, and a 1-0 lead for Carson-Newman. Stamper comes home. 2-2 is down and inside, and now caught in a rundown is Haynes trying to swipe over to third, and she is gunned down. Richards threw it over to short. It was fielded by Smith, and then makes a strong throw over to third to apply the tag, as Haynes is caught stealing. And that will bring the top of the 3rd to a close. Davis and Elkins brings no runs across. In the top of the 3rd inning, we head to the bottom half where Reese Winchester leads off, and that's actually who had the throw on to third, as Malia Smith was backing up the rundown. As we will head into the bottom of the 3rd, still a 1-0 Carson-Newman lead here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your...
Welcome back to James K. Ellis Softball Park at Wing Deer Park. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Reese Winchester leads off, and it's a first pitch swing. She pulls it foul down the left field line and out of play facing Sailor Neeland. It is a 1-0 Carson-Newman lead over Davis and Elkins. Picked up a run in the bottom of the 2nd inning on an RBI ground out from Abby Martin, her 3rd of the season. As Winchester settles in, the 0-1 hangs upstairs from Neeland, and it's 1-1. Winchester, a native of San Diego, California, one of 2 California players, both from San Diego. The other, Emma Romica, who pitched in the win over Concord yesterday. Both Winchester and Romica attended Foothills Christian Academy, or Christian High School, excuse me. As the count moves to 2-1, Winchester comes up empty on the 2-1, and the count equals at 2-2. Winchester 3 for 5. That was hit by a pitcher first time up. Leads off in the bottom of the third, the 2-2, and Winchester fights it off with a foul ball. Goes bouncing and caroming down the first base side into the concourse. Winchester really sets the table with the top part of this Carson-Newman order. Her and Malia Smith, both slappers by nature. Here comes the 2-2. Winchester in the air out towards center field. Long run coming on, and unable to make the diving grab is Belcher as Winchester picks up a leadoff base hit to start the bottom of the third inning. It was a long run for Belcher, went full extension, and it just bounces in front of her. Did a good job to block it, though, and let it get past her. Otherwise, it would have been a lot more bases for Reese Winchester with her speed. And so here comes Macaulay Bailey. With a chance to add on more. Bailey 2 for 8 to start the year. Flew out to center field her first time up today and takes the first pitch high from Neeland for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And Bailey shoots it foul down the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Winchester over at second base in a 1-0 Carson-Newman lead. On a Monday morning that's starting to warm up. It was very cold yesterday. Still sitting in the low 40s, but it's expected to warm up just a little bit more. The sun is shining, which is a nice change of pace. As the 1-1 misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike to Macaulay Bailey. The 2-1 down and inside on the righty. 3 balls, 1 strike. Winchester over at second base. Or excuse me, at first base. Corners are even with the bags for Davis and Elkins. The 3-1 to Bailey. There's a strike just at the top of the zone. The count runs full between Neeland and Bailey. Macaulay Bailey so dangerous with her power. Here comes the payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So the first 2 hitters reach base for Carson-Newman in the bottom of the third inning. Winchester with the single into center. Bailey with the walk. And now here comes Grace Gregory. As I said, Gregory, a transfer from North Alabama, didn't appear in any games in 2025. Batted 176 as in her sophomore season. Shows bunt with a foul ball. I went into the catching mitt. Or my apologies, no foul ball. And advancing over to third went Reese Winchester. Puts a runner over at third as Gregory hits one up the middle. Step on second by Haynes and fires on to first for out number 2, but coming in to score goes Winchester to make it 2-0 Carson-Newman. As that is a 6-3 double play. To make it 2-0. And so here comes Anne-Marie Richards with a 2-0 lead for Carson-Newman. Fouls off the first pitch. Just a wacky sequence there. Caught me a little off guard, but we're all settled in, caught up on the stats hopefully. As the 0-1, here comes the 0-1 from Neeland. Now this moves inside and shimmying out of the way goes Richards. Count evens up at 1-1 with 2 away and a 2-0 lead for Carson-Newman. And the bottom of the third inning against a Davis and Elkins team that is 0-4 on the season. Next pitch, inside again to Richards. 2-1. Next pitch will be the 50th of the contest so far for Sailor Neeland. A graduate student from Frederick, Maryland. Here's the 2-1, and it's shot right back up the middle by Richards into center field for a 2-out base hit. As Richards picks up her second hit of the weekend. Sets up Katie Mathena with 2 away. Mathena worked a walk and then came in to score as the first run to come across home plate for Carson-Newman. That was in the bottom half of the second inning. Came in on a ground out from Abby Martin. 1-0 to the designated player in Mathena. Had 2 hits yesterday and continues to impress. Head coach Michael Graves, who is trying to figure out what lineup to go with today. The 1-0 in the zone, 1-1. Saw a lot of positive things from an offense that he's looking to get more out of today. And when talking with Coach Graves last night, he said we had some really good at-bats, but I think our offense still has a way to go as the 1-1 misses out of the zone. 2-1 to Mathena. Still some strides to be taken to get to where they want to be and what Carson-Newman fans have grown accustomed to as Mathena hits one on the ground, fielded by Haynes on a couple of hops, flips to second for out number 3 to retire Richards. And that will send us to the 4th inning. And a 2-0 ball game as Carson-Newman scores another run on 2 hits with no errors and 1 runner left on base in the bottom of the 3rd. Into the 4th we go from Johnson City here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles! How do you know?
A change in the circle for Carson-Newman as it will be Lacey Keck to come in replacement of Atiana Stamper. Making her first appearance in the circle is Keck, the freshman hailing from Knoxville, Tennessee. Went 1 for 1 in her first appearance at the dish in a pinch hitting appearance against Concord. She'll face Courtney Dobbs, Trinity Fleming, and Meg Henkel in the middle part of this Davis and Elkins order, 4, 5, and 6. Holding on to a 2-0 lead is Carson-Newman as Keck, the lefty, comes home with her first offering in her collegiate career that misses outside to Courtney Dobbs. And Coach Michael Graves trying to get a look at everyone that he's got on his roster, trying to find out what works. Holly Tucker-Vance, the pitching coach for Carson-Newman, really wanted to see what Keck has going to start this season and this impressive freshman class that Carson-Newman has coming into this season. Seen all but one this weekend. The last freshman yet to step into into collegiate play is Kalia Merritt, another pitcher on this staff for Carson-Newman, as Keck misses outside and has missed on her first 3 pitches, as it's 3-0 to Courtney Dobbs. Next pitch comes in, and it's a 4-pitch walk, as Dobbs will head on down to first base on a free pass to open up the top of the 4th inning. Brings up Trinity Fleming. So Dobbs reaching base for the first time after a flyout in the first inning. Fleming comes up to bat, also flew out to center her first time up. Throw down on the, runner going on the throw in from Keck and the throw from Richards. One hops in, and Smith can't apply the tag as it just caroms away from her on a first pitch strike from Lacey Keck. And a stolen base for Courtney Dobbs. Another runner in scoring position for Davis and Elkins. They're 0 for 2 in that category so far. They're 0 for 4 with runners on so far in this contest, as the 0-1 misses down in the turf from Keck, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1. Lifted in the air, out towards right field. Armstrong moves over to the gap, makes the grab. Dobbs tags from second and heads into third with ease, as Keck gets her first out in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch to Meg Henkel, and it drops in right field for a base hit. Coming in to score comes Dobbs, and it is 2-1 Carson-Newman. As here comes Madison Smith now with the tying run on the bases for Davis and Elkins that are able to find their first run. First pitch swinging. This goes in the air out towards right field. Armstrong is there with minimal movement to make the grab, and there are now 2 away in the top of the 4th inning. And here comes maybe Ledesma, the second baseman and the 8-hitter in this Senators order. Keck looking at her armband on her right wrist. The lefty sets and deals the first pitch and is right down the chute against Ledesma. The 0-1 from Keck. Fouled away, 0-2. Keck looking to shut the door and keep it at a 1-run ball game. And here comes the 0-2. Loops upstairs high, and it's 1-2. Grace Gregory over at third is even with the third base bag. Macaulay Bailey the same over at first. Here's the 1-2 on the ground to second. Winchester Fields flips to second. Smith is there for out number 2 as Davison Elkins is retired on the fielder's choice from Ledesma. But they bring one run across on a hit, and they cut this deficit in half. It is a 2-1 Carson-Newman lead as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning here on the Eagles Sports Network in Johnson City.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Welcome back to Johnson City, Tennessee. 2-1 the lead for Carson-Newman over Davison Elkins. Bottom of the 4th inning, and leading things off is Addie Saunders facing Sailor Neeland. As Saunders fouls away the first pitch down the third base side. And the count moves to 0-1. Neeland still out in the circle. Saunders on the 0-1. Shoots it the other way through the 5-6 hole into left field for a leadoff base hit. Addie Saunders continues to find ways to produce. Gets another hit on the weekend. Reached on an error her last time up. Has been such a tough out. Just one time this weekend that she has been retired. Picks up hit number 3 across the 3 games so far. As here comes Shelby Armstrong showing bunt. Pulls back as it skips to the backstop. And advancing over to second goes Saunders on the pass ball. A 1-0 count as Armstrong has a chance to push the lead back up to 2. The 1-0 brushes inside against Armstrong. She moves out of the way. As Saunders looking to advance over to third base. Armstrong was showing bunt. Armstrong, another transfer on this Carson-Newman side, came in from Roane State Community College. As a 2-0 is high, and it's now 3-0. Last season, Armstrong hit .306 with 27 RBIs and hit .374 as a freshman with 28 RBIs. In her 2 seasons at Roane State, the 3-0, right on the inner corner. 3 balls and a strike. The 3-1. Armstrong offers on the bunt, comes up empty, and the count is at 3-2. Neeland working backwards, delivered 3 balls, now back-to-back strikes to get things full to Armstrong. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that is high and up inside An appeal down to first, and Armstrong did not go around. And so it is ball 4. She'll take her base, and now there's runners on first and second for Abby Martin. Picked up an RBI ground out her first time around. There's Armstrong reaches base for the second time today. A hit by pitch and a walk. First pitch to Martin, shows bunt, puts it down, but it dribbles foul off of home plate. And it's 0-1. As now there'll be a conversation in the infield with this Senators defensive group, along with Neeland, trying to figure out how to attack Abby Martin and company. Martin picking up her third RBI through 3 games on the ground out back in the second inning. Is 3 for 6 on the season after that occurrence. And the count is at 0-1, a 2-1 lead for Carson-Newman in the bottom of the 4th inning. Everyone disperses back to their spots, and Neeland comes set. Here is the 0-1 to Martin. Shows bunt, pulls back as it misses high and outside, and it's 1-1. Corner infielders and Zapak and Henkel are going to come crashing in. And filling the gap at second base is Belcher, the center fielder. The 1-1 fouled away by Martin on the bunt. And it's 1-2. An opportunity for Carson-Newman to try and get its offense into gear. Had 4 runs in an inning against Concord yesterday. Thought that might have been the moment that Coach Graves was looking for to find that offensive burst. As the 1-2 inside, count evens at 2-2 to the right-handed hitting Abby Martin. Martin last season batted .364. Here's the 2-2, and she fouls it away into the fencing down the first base side. Had 19 RBIs on the season, hitting in the top part of the Carson-Newman order. And the 2-2. Martin, chopper to third, fielded on a couple of hops by Henkel, steps on third for 1, fires across the diamond, and it's in time for out number 3. Strong play from Meg Henkel at the hot corner. Swings momentum back towards Davis and Elkins' side. Armstrong advances to second, so still a runner in scoring position as it's back to the top of the order in Malia Smith. But that is the second time in this contest that Carson-Newman has grounded into a double play in a threatening position. Here's the first pitch to Smith, and it's a called strike on the outer half. 71 pitches now for Sailor Neeland. And a 2-1 ball game in favor of Carson-Newman, bottom of the 4th inning. Next pitch comes home. And it's another strike to Smith. And it's 0-2. The 0-2 is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on second in Armstrong. Smith said in the lefty's batter's box, the pitch home, slap towards third, and Henkel is there for another diving play, and she'll make the grab for out number 3. Meg Henkel doing it all, the double play, now that nice snag, and Carson-Newman is retired. Had chances to score, but they leave a runner on in the Bottom of the fourth, we head into the fifth. It's still a 2-1 Carson-Newman lead on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Welcome back to Johnson City. 2-1 Carson-Newman leads as we come into the fifth inning on the Eagle Sports Network. Matt Scalzo with you. Davis and Elkins making some strong defensive plays. Keeps this at a one-run ball game. And 9-1-2 are due up for the Senators, beginning with April Belcher, followed by Alyssa Haynes and Gwenny Wessling. Third all-time meeting between these two sides. Carson-Newman has won the first two. First meeting was in 2015, and then there was another decade till they met last season. A 7-4 win for the Eagles. Got off to a hot start, jumping out to a 6-0 lead. They led 2-0 here. Then there was a surge for the Senators in the middle part of that game. But Carson-Newman did enough to hold on and pick up the win. As Keck missed on her first offering, then finds the zone here. Next pitch to the plate, loops in, and it's a touch high. 2 balls and a strike against Belcher, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the second inning. That was at the hands of Atiana Stamper. And Keck has since come in to replace her. Here's the 2-1 on the ground. Diving stop by Winchester over at second. The throw on to first and the pick by Bailey for out number 1. Reese Winchester, full extension over at second base, diving to her right to make the play. And there is one gone in the top of the fifth inning. That is a play that these Eagle players have kind of come accustomed to. And talking with Macaulay Bailey ahead of the season, she said Reese has made some incredible plays over at second base. Some diving plays with some flips to get the double play. She said she hasn't really seen that in her years here. Her range of motion just so broad to cover up the gaps. As Keck delivers a first pitch strike to Alyssa Haynes. And that last play from Winchester. Prime example of everything that's gone on. The 0-1 right back where it came from towards Keck, deflects off her glove towards Malia Smith over at short and doesn't have enough time to come up with the play on a hard hit base hit from Alyssa Haynes. So Gwenny Wessling will now come up as tying run is back on the bases for Davis and Elkins, and the second hit for Alyssa Haynes. Now 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch is a strike on the outer half to Wessling. Haynes picked up a stolen base her last time on the bases. The 0-1. Missed on the bunt. Throw down to second as Haynes was going, and the tag is applied by Smith. The throw from Richards pulled Smith off the bag to her left and was able to spin back and apply the tag right on the shoulder of Haynes. And there's 2 away as Keck was able to find the zone. Move the count to 0-2. Conversation at home plate. between Davis and Elkins head coach and home plate umpire, along with Anne-Marie Richards, as Alyssa Haynes was walking off towards the bathrooms below here on the concourse. It looks like she might have had a bloody nose, so that tag from Smith might have just caught her a little bit high. Nothing malicious about what transpired there, but coach just wanted to make sure that her player's doing okay. Elf Fracker is the head coach of the Senators. And an 0-2 to Wessling from Keck. Wessling works it the other way, down the first base side, and it's into foul ground. So we'll do it all over again on the 0-2. Season number 6 for Fracker at the helm of a Davis and Elkins team. Has made it to 2 Mountain East Championship games, as the 0-2 from Keck is down away, and it's 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 from Keck. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Wessling as Lacey Keck picks up her first career strikeout. And the inning comes to a close. An unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Keck, but it goes in the book the same as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Still a 2-1 lead for Carson-Newman over Davis and Elkins on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Johnson City. 2-1 the lead for Carson-Newman in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 2, 3, and 4 in the Carson-Newman order. Reese Winchester leads off. The second baseman has reached base both times today. Hit by a pitch and a single back in the 3rd. Came in to score. Second run that was plated for Carson-Newman in back-to-back innings. Made it a 2-0. And then Davis and Elkins brought a run across in the 4th, cut the lead in half, and that's where we sit, 2-1 in favor of Carson-Newman as Sailor Neeland returns to the circle, and the first offering to Winchester runs high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Against the freshman from San Diego, who has done just a stellar job throughout these first 3 games. Winchester turns on the 1-0, sends a high fly ball out into left center field. Moving over into the gap is Haynes, and she will make the play for out number 1. Or rather, that is not Alyssa Haynes out in left field. That is Caden Warfield, and came up with the grab. As here comes Macaulay Bailey, swings on the first pitch and fouls it off down the first base side. Alyssa Haynes got a bloody nose after she was caught stealing, so Warfield has gone in just to make sure she's doing okay. The 1-0, or the 1-0, or the 0-1, excuse me, from Bailey, hit on the ground towards second. Diving stop by Ledesma, moving to her left, and fires on to first for out number 2. As here comes Grace Gregory in the Carson-Newman order. Just 3 hits for the Eagles so far today. I've struggled to get its offense into gear. The pitching and defense has been great, but not the high-octane offensive output that head coach Michael Graves and company have been used to seeing over the last few years, as that is fouled away, or excuse me, that catches the inside corner from Gregory, and it's 0-1. Next pitch to Gregory is down below the knees, 1-1. And Sailor Neeland has delivered now 80 pitches in today's contest. And the 1-1. Gregory turns and pulls it foul down the left field line. Count now moves to 1-2 as Neeland looks for a 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th frame. Neeland comes home on the righty-on-righty matchup. And the drop pitch misses down away, bouncing into the turf. Count moves to 2-2. With 2 away and nobody on for Grace Gregory, and a 2-1 Carson-Newman lead. 2-2 chopper foul, third base side by Gregory. Keeps the count where it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Carson-Newman scored runs in the 2nd and in the 3rd. Davis and Elkins got its lone tally in the top of the 4th inning. Carson-Newman, another tightly contested contest. Concord tried to stage a late comeback in the top of the 7th inning yesterday, as the 2-2 from Neeland misses down and into the right-handed hitting Gregory, and the count runs full. Carson-Newman was able to get the final out in a 6-5 win. Had a 2-1 win over Glenville State to start their trip to Johnson City yesterday. And here's the payoff pitch that is fouled away by Gregory. And once again, another close contest here for Carson-Newman. 2 wins yesterday gave head coach Michael Graves 200 career wins at Carson-Newman. Comes in now at 200 and 109 in his 8 seasons at the helm of the Eagles. Payoff pitch again. Gregory loops one in the air towards shallow right center. Charging in and making the play is Madison Smith for out number 3, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 5th inning for Sailor Neeland. We head into the 6th. Still a 2-1 ball game in favor of Carson-Newman here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit seaandeagles.com/Eagle Club.
Into the sixth inning we go from the James K. Ellis Softball Complex. 2-1 lead for Carson-Newman over Davis and Elkins to begin Day 2 of the Bay Region Preseason Preview Invitational. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Lacey Keck back into the circle facing Ashlyn Zapak, and the first pitch to Zapak is a ball outside to the right-handed hitting first baseman, and it's 1-0. Davis and Elkins trying to pick up its first win of the season if they're able to find a way to drag another run across. Or at least that'd be 2 runs across. They got 6 outs to work with. Carson-Newman trying to improve to 3-0. That has been reliant on its pitching so far in Johnson City. 2-0, fouled straight back, 2-1. Offense is normally something that takes a little bit to get going. You have your fall to where you can really get ready, find your groove a little bit. Then you take all the time off, and it's really hard to replicate the pitching that you see from other teams, as the 2-1 from Zapak again fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lacey Keck has settled in the circle. Gave up a run in her first inning in the 4th, and then delivered a 1-2-3 inning, albeit an unconventional one, as Alyssa Haynes was caught stealing. 2-2 is outside. Count runs full. To the first baseman, that's 1 for 2 today. A single back in the first and a fly out to left in the third. Two. Zapak in the air, left center field. That is down, and it will roll all the way to the wall. Zapak around first, into second with a stand-up double to get things going in the top of the 6th inning. A strong piece of hitting from Ashlyn Zapak, the senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Moves into scoring position for Courtney Dobbs. And there's actually going to be a pinch runner by the looks of it for Davis and Elkins. And there will be, but there's she's wearing a sweatshirt over her. And so I don't know what number she is. Now that is something I'll have to figure out. We can make a quick change. As the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner to Dobbs. I'll go talk to the umpires in between the top of the 6th and the bottom of the 6th to figure out who that pinch runner was, as the 0-1 is upstairs for ball 1, and it's a 1-1 count to Courtney Dobbs. A fly out and a walk with a run scored back in the 4th inning. The 1-1 outside, 2 balls and a strike with nobody out. In the top of the 6th inning, tying run on the bases after a leadoff double from Ashley Zapak. And the 2-1 misses from Keck as 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch home from Keck is down the chute for a called strike. And the count runs full. 40 pitches now for Lacey Keck in her collegiate debut. Here's the payoff pitch. Floated in the air, right field. Armstrong moves over towards the line, makes the grab. Runner tags from second and is in safely on the flyout from Dobbs. And so the tying run for Davis and Elkins, ever so close. Over at third base. Just 60 feet away from tying things up as Trinity Fleming steps into the righty's batter's box, shows bunt, puts it down, back to Keck, flips to home, and a tag is applied for out number 2. Calm, cool, collected Lacey Keck able to make the play. As Fleming steps over or heads over to first base, reaching in that situation, but a phenomenal play by Lacey Keck on the backhand flip. The tag applied by Richards. And Davis and Elkins squanders an opportunity to tie things up here in the top of the 6th. As Meg Henkel settles in to the righty's batter's box. First pitch swing, hard hit ball straight at Gregory at third. Picks it up and fires on to first for out number 3 as Lacey Keck and the defense come up with big plays to keep it at a 2-1 ball game as we head into the bottom of the 6th. Still a 2-1 Carson-Newman lead on the Eagles Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
My apologies, everybody. I've been muted for what just transpired there. So, in an 0-2 count, the ball was hit back where it came from in off the bat of Anne-Marie Richards, and it was able to get on as it ricocheted off the glove of Sailor Nealand, and now there's going to be a pinch runner over at first in Emma Romica, taking the place of Richards on the base paths, as Katie Mathena will step into the righty's batter's box. Oh, that caught me off guard. Not off guard, just a mess up on my part. But either way, Carson-Newman looking for insurance here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mathena puts the bunt down. Nealon fields, throws on to first. It is not in time. The speed by Mathena, able to beat out the throw, and a little bit of small ball from Carson-Newman has runners on first and second with nobody away in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that might be the day for Sailor Nealand, as L. Frackner, the head coach for Davis and Elkins, comes out. I don't see anybody warming, so it might just be a conversation to calm everybody down. Trying to keep this at a 2-1 ball game. Michael Graves having a meeting with his team on the third base side, along with first base coach and graduate assistant Hayden Dye, an All-American who graduated from Carson-Newman last year, has enjoyed the change to being a coach. And everyone disperses back to their spots as Addie Saunders will be the one to come up to bat after back-to-back infield base hits from Carson-Newman. Corners come in. Saunders shows bunt, puts it down the third base side, and it squeaks through all the way towards left field. Around third comes Romica, and she will score. What a bunt from Addie Saunders. Put it in between the crashing third baseman in Henkel and Nealand, and it rolled all the way out to where the shortstop would normally be. Instead, it kept rolling all the way towards left field, where it was then fielded by Warfield. And Romica scores. Mathena goes over to third on an RBI base hit from Addie Saunders, as there will be a pinch hitter for Shelby Armstrong. It'll be Sarah Walker, who went 1 for 4 yesterday against Concord and had a lot of hard hit balls, including her first career hit, which was a double. And the first pitch to Nealand, or from Nealand, is a strike down the chute. Runner going in Saunders. There's no throw down. So 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out. Sarah Walker in an 0-1 count chases the high fastball, and it's 0-2. Saunders at second, and Mathena at third, as Carson-Newman now leads 3-1. Here's the 0-2 to Walker, and she fights it off with a foul ball that slices out of play down the first base side. Carson-Newman set to square up with Converse following the conclusion of this contest, as the 0-2 to Walker brushes inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 loops in and is a called strike 3 as Walker, frozen on the off speed from Nealand, goes down looking for out number 1. First pitch to Abby Martin. There's a ball that misses upstairs. Saunders still over at second, Mathena at third. Martin already with an RBI today. That brought in the first run for Carson-Newman. The 1-0 from Martin. Sky-high fly ball out into shallow right field. Catch is made. Runner coming home in Mathena, and she beats the tag on a strong throw in from Madison Smith in right field. But it's enough. She has enough speed to get in ahead of the tag from the catcher Westling, and Carson-Newman makes it 4-1 on the second RBI of the day for Abby Martin. Saunders also advances over to third. As there's now two away, and it's back to the top of the order with Malia Smith, who takes the ball outside. And the count moves to 1-0. Carson-Newman putting up a crooked number in the bottom of the sixth, makes it 4-1. Trying to improve to 3-0 to start this season. Smith, slow roller to short, glove down. Now the throw on to first is not in time, as Smith is able to reach on a base hit to the shortstop. And also coming in to score in that sequence was Addie Saunders. And so now 3 runs for Carson-Newman in the bottom of the 6th inning. Reese Winchester now steps up. Swings on the first pitch, loops one out into shallow center field. Belcher charging in, and she will make the grab for out number 3. But Carson-Newman adds 3 runs and takes a 5-1 lead into the top of the 5th inning, or top of the 7th inning, trying to pick up the win, looking for 3 more outs, and improve to 3-0 on the season. Back with more on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Carson-Newman looking for 3 more outs in the top of the 7th inning. Lacey Keck will stay in the circle and faces 7, 8, and 9 in the Davis and Elkins order, beginning with Madison Smith. The Eagles score 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to extend its lead up to 4 runs. First pitch from Keck is a strike on the outer half to Smith. Smith worked a walk in the 2nd, was left stranded on the bases, flew out her last time up in the 4th. This time turns on the 0-1, sends a looping fly ball out into shallow left field. The shortstop Smith moves back and makes the grab for out number 1. And we will have a pinch hitter for maybe Ledesma. Coming in will be Audrey Higgins, sophomore out of Alexandria, Virginia. Higgins, the team's leader in terms of batting average through 3 games this season, batting .571, is 4 for 7 at the dish and takes the first pitch strike from Keck. Here comes the 0-1. And it misses high, 1-1. As I said, Higgins batting .571 is 4 for 7 this season. Has an RBI as well. That dips down and away to the right-handed hitter from Keck, and it's 2-1. Higgins went 2 for 3 yesterday against Lincoln Memorial, picked up her first RBI of the season. Did not play against Mars Hill, as the 2-1 is outside, 3 balls and a strike. Game started with Atiana Stamper in the circle for Carson-Newman. Lacey Keck has since come in. As here comes the 2-1. Higgins back up the middle and slices it into right field for a base hit with 1 away. As Higgins continues to put bat to ball her 5th hit of the season. And another pinch hitter coming up for L. Frackner and company. In place of April Belcher. It will be Alicia Munoz. Munoz standing in the righty's batter's box. First pitch, swing and a miss on the offering from Keck. Munoz with her first at-bat of the season. There's also a pinch runner over at first base. It is back to Ledesma that was the initial batter in that situation, but has re-entered as they can in softball, and with her speed as compared to Higgins, trying to keep things alive here. Munoz has taken back-to-back balls now from Keck, and it's 2-1. With 1 gone in the top of the 7th inning. Keck's 2-1, just a touch outside and maybe a little bit low. Works the count to 3-1. A 5-1 lead for Carson-Newman. Top of the 7th inning, trying to improve to 3-0 on the season. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagles Sports Network. Here comes the 3-1 from Keck. Fouled away. Down the first base side by Munoz. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away and a runner on first in Ledesma. Keck looking for 2 more outs for Carson-Newman. 3-1, wave and a miss from Munoz, and she goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Keck. There's 2 away now. As Caden Warfield will come up to bat. She subbed in place of Alyssa Haynes, who got a bloody nose after she was caught stealing. And so Warfield subbed in and left, and now will step into the batter's box. Warfield is 0 for 1 this season but has an RBI. First pitch swing, fly ball, center field. Martin is there, and the catch is made for out number 3. And the Eagles improve to 3-0 this season with a 5-1 win over Davis and Elkins. And they will have a short turnaround before they take on the Valkyries of Converse later today. It was slated for a noon start time. Might be a little bit after as we come to a close at 11:43 local time here on the Eagles Sports Network. Stamper started the game, went 3 innings, just allowing 2 hits with no runs, 2 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. Keck goes the final 4, giving up 1 run on 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. Sailor Neeland went the whole way for Davis and Elkins. Surrendered 5 runs, 4 of those earned on 7 hits with a strikeout and 3 walks. For Carson-Newman, the leading hitters were Anne-Marie Richards, who picked up a couple of hits, as did Addie Saunders. She continues to just find ways to get on base. Saunders 2 for 3, also had a stolen base as well. Picked up an RBI too. Abby Martin went 0 for 2, had a pair of RBIs, and the other RBI came from Malia Smith, who went 1 for 4. Reese Winchester also 1 for 3. Macaulay Bailey 0 for 2, had her 7-game hitting streak that dated back to last season stopped in that one, but she was able to get on base via a walk, which extends her on-base streak to 23 consecutive games. Game 2 coming up in just a little bit of time between Carson-Newman and Converse. We'll have that one for you on the Eagles Sports Network. The Eagles look to go to 4-0 to start this season if they can take down the Valkyries of Converse, who have dropped both of their games so far to start this big region season preview, falling to Tusculum and Mars Hill yesterday. That first pitch coming up in, say, about 30 minutes time or so. I'll have that for you on the Eagles Sports Network. Till then, I'm Matt Scalzo signing off. See you soon.